Right then, guys, welcome back into the Spooky Shed, your go-to place for conversations around all things weird, scary, and of course spooky. Tonight with me, can't even speak. Tonight with me, I have got Elaine from Whaaat, What Are You Watching? So, Elaine, welcome to the shed. How are we?
Hey, hi, Liam. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here today.
No problem. So, I pre-warned you, like I pre-warn everybody, and everybody who listens to this will know by now. So, I ask all my guests to leave something in the shed with me. It can be something you love, something you hate. It can be a person, a place, a feeling, a thing. I cannot speak tonight. This is going to go well.
Yes, but you did prep me, so there you go. I'm going to leave an awful memory that I have watching one of these movies. So I have a YouTube channel, and one of the worst movies I've ever watched, and I can't scrub my brain from it, is the movie Men. Have you ever seen the movie Men?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, there is a scene at the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you, that is burned into my brain. I think about it day and night. It's absolutely terrifying and disgusting. So I'm going to leave that in your shed, and hopefully it'll stay there and won't visit me in the middle of the night.
Is it a good film, though?
It starts off as very promising. The end feels like I took acid against my will.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And then I don't know what happens. Maybe about 45 minutes into the movie, towards the end, it's just a mess.
Just takes a wild turn.
It takes a wild turn, and the images that it has given me it's been with me. I think I watched it like maybe 4 months ago.
Right. Well, I'm intrigued, so I'm going to have to watch it now just to see what this is about.
You have to watch it. Let me give you a hint. It has something to do with childbirth, and it also has something to do with like maybe doppelgangers. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. Right. Doppelgangers, childbirth, and like fertility. But it's
you've
really
mentioned childbirth there. Is it graphic?
It's graphic.
Right, I'm not going to watch it then.
Are you not a fan?
When my son was born, I made sure I did not go below the shoulders. I do not need to see that. I've seen Alien. It's the same thing.
No, you're so right. Because when I had my child, they asked if I needed a mirror so I could look at. I'm like, absolutely not.
Exactly.
What do you?
Why does anybody want to see that? It's to me, it's really weird. So like when my son was born, my partner's mum was in there with us, and like she had a look, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Why are you looking? Look at that. Right. And I told my husband, I'm like, you're not looking either, my guy. Yeah. You're coming up here. I'm not. I'm in this like al fresco situation, not happening. And people who videotape it, like.
Yeah, freaks.
On what occasion would you be like, you know what? Tonight after dinner, we should put in that videotape.
Exactly. Well, again, my partner's friend done that, and I'm just like, no, dirty attention-seeking freaks. Something wrong with them.
Right. And I had my daughter in San Diego, California. You know, they're very like, ooh, like, you know, you have to like as the baby's coming, if you want, you could touch the head and help with the delivery. It's very like kind of, you know, being back at nature. I'm like, no, that's okay.
Yeah, just get it out and let's be done.
Just clean it up for me first.
Yeah,
I'm good. Good. I'm glad we're on the same page. You probably don't want to watch Men, but you could.
I might give it a miss. Maybe if I get some spare time, or maybe one of these nights when I can't sleep, I might.
I don't know if it's going to help you sleep.
Well, we'll soon find out.
You at least see what I left in your shed. It's. I'm going to leave you like a plastic mat to put it on because it's pretty. It's
fair enough. Fair enough. I like it. I like it. Right. So do you want to tell us about your YouTube channel to start off with then?
Yeah.
I really like the idea of it.
Yeah. So I have a YouTube channel called Whaaat with 3 A's. Are you watching? I started it because I had stopped watching scary movies after The Ring. I know it doesn't seem like it's a scary movie, but it was the moment when I realized that Hollywood special effects are getting way too good. And that this is going to be in my head when I'm sleeping. I have a very active imagination. So I haven't watched scary movies for over a decade. And I decided I wanted to start doing it again because I felt like I was missing out on so much. I saw that Hereditary was like in the Oscars and all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm missing out on so much. So I thought the only way that I could watch scary movies is doing it as like a reaction video and doing it with friends. So I might invite you on to watch a scary movie, Liam. Maybe we'll watch Men again.
I would love that.
So that's what my YouTube is, but I've been into the paranormal. I also had a podcast for a while before I pivoted to YouTube. And that
Mm.
was basically kind of like My Favorite Murder, but me and my co-host would exchange like scary stories. I love all things paranormal, doppelgangers, like time
Mm.
warp, UFOs, all that good stuff.
Cool. I like it. Should I tell you this? Because I spoke about it last night when I was recording as well. So, do you know about the Pendle Hill Witches?
I don't.
Okay, so that, oh God, I'm not even going to try and remember the dates, but it was hundreds of years ago. Place over here called Pendle, and again, I'm not going to guess how many, but there was more than 10, and it was basically our version of the Salem witch trials, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a movie about it, and me and my old co-host Billy, we done an episode about the Pendle Hill Witches. So I thought, oh, I'll call it research. I'll watch this film.
Right.
Literally the worst film I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Honestly,
Is
it
it a
is so bad.
is it a documentary?
No. It's like it is like an actual movie, but it is so bad.
Bad as in like terrifying or just badly made?
Just badly made, just shit, just the worst thing I've ever watched. And the only reason I finished it is because I was even 20 minutes into it, I was like, this is horseshit. And I only finished it so I could rant about it when we did an episode.
You know what? Everything's content. I that's fair.
Exactly.
What I want to watch it now. I'm intrigued. What is it called? Pendleton Witches?
The Haunting of Pendle Hill.
Pendle Hill. Okay. Now I really want to watch it. So yeah, and then maybe I'll do a reaction video to it too because it sounds
Oh, you need
intriguing.
to. You need to.
Okay. All right. I
Because it
definitely
is
will.
awful.
Yeah, and it's funny because horror movies can run such a gamut. It can be so amazingly done, and then
Yeah.
it's just like it's just a little tweak here and there, and it could be awful. I think for my experience, it feels like a lot of these horror movies have a really good concept, and in the beginning it's so great, and then they like bust their nut in the middle of it. The ending starts to get kind of, a little bit either they got tired or it just, I feel like all the horror movies I've watched, I feel like the ending sometimes gets a little ignored? So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if you've ever seen Exorcist 2. The Exorcist 1 I thought was brilliant. Probably one of the most scariest movies ever. I only seen clips of it and I thought it was terrifying. I just recently watched it for my YouTube channel. But then, of course, we decided to go into watching Exorcist 2. Linda Blair was also in it. And I don't know, what did you think about it? I thought it was bananas.
I think all of them after the first one have been a massive downgrade on the first one, obviously. But
Yeah.
I don't know, they're watchable.
They're watchable?
They're them films that I'll say if they're on TV, I'll watch it, but I'm never going to go and like search to sit down and actually watch it on purpose.
I like go out of your way. Are you a horror movie fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So what's your favorite?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Just
80s because it was the first one I ever seen, and I've told this story 100 times, but I still think it's quite funny. So I watched it when I was about 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was on at like 2:00 in the morning. I was looking through the like Radio Times that we have that tells you what's on TV. This was back in the bloody early 2090 sort of thing. It was on at like 2:00 in the morning. I asked my dad what it was about. Like I say again, 10 years old. He told me what it was about and what happened, and I decided to stay up and watch it.
Oh my God. It's a 80s classic.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think, I don't know, so you were how old? 10?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of like the same age. I think that was in general for our generation where like our parents didn't hover over us. I read Stephen King novels absolutely way too young. Yeah. So same thing. We were watching things that we weren't supposed to be watching.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, my mum and dad bought my brother The Exorcist on VHS when he was about 12.
Oh my gosh. Right. So yeah, my parents were just like, oh, look, she's reading. That's great. Meanwhile, I'm reading like, Stephen King, It, and like staying up at night, imagining that shit.
Well, I hate clowns. And this again, like, shows the type of people my mum and dad are. I hate clowns. They bought me it on DVD for Christmas a couple of years ago. Thanks.
That was their own little entertainment.
Yeah, true.
Scare you guys.
But I still watched it, being an idiot that I am.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't watched it until a couple of years ago. I avoided it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, it's scary. Even just reading the book was scary. It's just
I just don't like clowns. They're weird.
Yeah, and wasn't like one of the serial killers, John Wayne Gacy,
Yeah.
dressed up as a clown. So that
Mm.
just adds like reality to it, which is, I mean, this is why I don't do true crime because
Yeah.
I would rather deal with the paranormal than the sick, like actual real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
So
sure it was Jeffrey Dahmer. That's what he used to do when he used to take his victims back to his apartment. He used to make them watch The Exorcist 3, I believe.
really? Oh my
It was either the third one or the second one, because I always think it's like, well, why wouldn't you make them watch the good one?
No kidding, right?
Yeah, you're about to kill them. At least let them watch a good film.
Right, right. Don't let him watch number 2. Number 3 was fine. It was actually
Yeah.
scary. Number 2 was just awful.
Mm.
God. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just clowns are scary and ever since it'll never be the same. I mean, Pennywise,
Mm.
that again ingrained in my brain. So
Yeah.
this is the only way I can watch scary movies. On TikTok, it's a little different. I do have a TikTok too, and on TikTok, I delve into more like topics, like short
Yeah.
topics about paranormal stuff, but also like UFO stuff and conspiracy theories. So
Nice. Love anything to do with aliens as well and UFOs and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I was just talking about the Betty Andreasson
Mm.
situation. Have you heard of the Andreasson affair?
I'm not sure.
So the
I don't think so.
Andreasson Affair is a book about Betty Andreasson's abduction.
Right.
So in short, basically what happened was her family and her, they live in a farmhouse somewhere. It was like 1967. She's washing
Mm.
the dishes. The kids are in the living room with her parents and the lights start to flicker. And then the electricity goes completely out. Next thing they know, they wake up. They're in bed. So they literally don't remember from the time that she's washing dishes to when
Mm.
she gets up. But over the years, she starts having like really like strong dreams. Now she's thinking that they're memories. And she's starting to see like she remembers beings in her kitchen. She remembers being taken somewhere and she's starting to think she's crazy. But then there's this guy named J. Allen Hynek. He's like a professor and he is looking and he's researching UFO abductions and kind of more of a psychological angle, like why are these people thinking they're abducted? Have they been abducted? So she reached out to him, and probably the Andreasson abduction is the most well documented alien abduction, only because she was working with like 10 psychologists. She went through 4 lie detector tests, and then she went through 14 hypnotic regression therapy. So in this therapy, she starts remembering basically what happens. This being comes in and essentially is talking through her to telepathy. And she
Mm.
talks about how she was put on an examining table and they were examining her and they said they took something out of her front, I don't know, like forehead or something. I'm like tracking device. I don't know. And then they were giving her a examination and she remembered the alien saying that she has missing parts. Well, Aunt Betty Andreasson had had a hysterectomy. And so,
Shit.
yeah,
Mm.
super detailed. And her daughter started remembering things too. Her daughter was like 9. And when they put her into therapy, the regression hypnosis, their stories corroborated. So I highly suggest reading that book, Andreasson Affair. I was just mouth agape the entire time. Like what she remembered was bananas. At least the aliens seemed really patient and nice with her in a way that you would, like, say, if you tagged an animal and you brought it back to check on it. Very much like
Yeah,
that.
well, yeah, sort of. I
I
mean,
feel like that's what they're doing.
yeah, I mean, might be meant in goodwill, but I mean, still, need some sort of consent, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, consent would be nice.
Yeah.
Not just like put them to bed afterwards and be like, you don't remember none of this. They do like the, Men in Black type of shit.
Yeah.
So
Well, I suppose
yeah,
at least they put them to bed. At least they didn't just like leave them in a field somewhere, like you often hear.
that's right. Like the
Mm.
Travis Walton
Yeah.
abduction. I feel like the aliens that were working that day were temps because how did they came through like all of civilization, they abduct this guy. So
Mm.
not only did they not put him back to where he was, but they forgot to give him his clothes back. Because I
Yeah.
think Travis Walton said he ended up in the middle of a road and he was naked. And
Mm.
I'm like, yeah, those aliens were drinking on the job for sure.
Definitely.
So yeah, no, I love alien abductions too. I do think I mean, are you a believer? Do you think it's plausible that they're kind of doing what
Yeah.
we're doing in testing?
I think there's definitely aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're actually out abducting people or not, I'm not sure. That's someone I'd love to get on the podcast, to speak to somebody who, I'll say, claims to have been abducted, because who am I
Right.
to say if they're lying or not? But
True.
yeah, I'd love to speak to somebody who, like you say, has experienced something like
Right.
that. That would
Me
be
too.
very, very interesting.
Yeah. And I think for me, the Travis and Betty Andreessen are the ones that I'm like, oh, they
Mm.
went through something. Whether or not it was true, I
Yeah.
think how they reacted to it, I think they do truly believe something happened.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
have you seen Fire in the Sky with Travis Walton?
I haven't.
So, Fire in the Sky is a really good movie based on what
Mm.
happened to him. Really, really good
Mm.
movie. Basically, he was a logger with a bunch of guys, and
Yeah, yeah.
they thought what they thought was a fire in the sky, but it ended up being an alien. But Travis Walton was the one person that was like, "I wonder what that is," and then bam, all his
That'd be
other
me.
friends, right? Same. I would be the same. Like, what's going on? Get
Ooh,
my
something
ass.
shiny.
That's right. That's one way to get probed, and that's exactly what happened to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go. Then just to bring it back to movies and stuff again. Have you seen The Fourth
Yeah.
Kind?
I have seen The Fourth Kind.
Mm.
What did you think of
That's a
it?
good one. I thought it was really good, me.
Yeah. The Fourth
I
Kind
liked
is
it.
crazy. Is that the one that
Mm.
is in Nome, Alaska, right?
Yeah, it's the one where it's supposed to be they've got real footage, but obviously it isn't real
Yeah.
footage, and that I don't know how you'd explain it. Would you call it like a mockumentary sort of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
what it was, like a mockumentary. But when I first saw it, I truly was like, "Oh my God,
Yeah,
is
I
that
did.
actual footage?" No, it was well done. So yeah, it was
Mm.
yeah, that would have been a mockumentary. But yeah, it was well done. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that in a while.
yeah.
So
That and Signs, they're my favorite alien ones.
oh, yeah, Signs is really good. Although the one thing that was kind of like a little bit loose for me was the fact that the aliens were didn't like water.
Yeah, but that I've seen. I always argue with people with this because obviously he's famous for his twist endings. Obviously, Sixth Sense being the best example, and The Village and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that's almost better because it's just pure irony. They invade
Right.
a planet where 80% of what it's covered in is going to kill them.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like,
Yeah,
why
that's
would
why
you?
it's good.
Wait, that's true, right?
Yeah. But to me, that's what makes it good. Because whilst obviously these are supposed to be, highly intelligent, advanced fucking races, get to
Right.
land on a planet where 80% of it will kill them. It's brilliant.
I often think, are aliens all smart? I mean, there could be human beings where they run the
Oh yeah,
gamut.
some of them will be idiots. Yeah, definitely.
Just random alien idiots going around.
Well, the ones that crash probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No shit, right? Oh my God. The Roswell aliens, bunch
Exactly.
of dorks, bunch of drunk ass aliens that happen to just crash on here. Oh my God, that's too funny.
Exactly. So, have you ever seen a UFO then?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked. If you had asked this maybe a few months ago, I would have said no. I've always wanted to. I've always kept my eyes out for them. However, I went on a cruise recently in May, and we had the balcony and we were by Catalina. Now, at the time, I didn't know the Catalina Island here is like a hotbed for people seeing things coming out of the ocean. My husband
Right,
has
fair
had
enough.
yeah, so my husband has had an
Mm.
experience when we were living in San Diego. He used to go charter fishing all the time. And he went there with his brother. They go there at some ungodly hour at 4 a.m. And as they're setting up the boat, they're kind of in the middle of the ocean. My brother-in-law sees something red at the very bottom of the ocean and it starts to come up. And he's like, "Do you have a bait?" He thought my husband had bait with lights on it. But it
Mm.
came up way too fast. And then when my husband noticed it, it had already came out of the water and then shot up in the sky. And so I was like, he had the experience, but I had never seen one until this past May. We were sitting out in the balcony. It's completely dark. And I'm looking at the stars and it wasn't with the stars. It was lower. And I
Fuck's
thought,
sake.
oh, maybe somebody had a drone. But it was so far off and we were in the middle of the ocean. There's no way a drone could have been this far off. I might have to show you on Instagram. Because I got video of it. And it's just kind of hovering and it starts doing this. It starts dropping. And then as I'm talking and I'm getting the video, it just shoots right off. I'm like, that
Mm.
definitely was not a drone. So I don't know. There's been a lot of activity in Catalina Island lately. And actually, when I posted this on a message board, I had said something about this was kind of off of Catalina Island. And they're like, oh, well, that tracks because all these people have been witnessing things in Catalina Island. So who knows? But yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely weird.
Yeah, things that go like really fast like
Mm.
that, that one's questionable because I know that there's a lot of drones that
Mm.
can definitely be mistaken as UFOs. And in San Diego, they do a night jump, like, jumping out of an airplane, but it's
Yeah.
at night. And they're,
Hell no.
fuck no, right? And their parachute or something is lit up. So
Yeah.
when they jump, it looks like a bunch of like weird anomalies just kind of being, but it's just people. Because I remember seeing that too. But when things are really like jarring and starts to move like that, that's when I'm
Mm.
like, what the hell was that? So I don't know if it
Yeah.
was an actual, it was definitely an unidentified flying object. So
That is very interesting. I'm just thinking there. I remember like back here in like I don't know, like early 2010s. There, I don't know whether it was a thing over there or over here. There was a time when everybody was using these like, well, they were called like Chinese lanterns.
oh,
And
right. Yeah,
they just
I've
set them
seen
off in the
those.
sky. Oh, it was hilarious. So many people thought they were like aliens and stuff. It was class. I loved it. It was brilliant.
Have you seen the one that people have been seeing recently? It's on TikTok all over the place. And it looks like light, but it's twisted. And I think it just happened like 2 days ago. Still no
No, I'm not saying
explanation
that.
for it. Yeah, here sometimes it's the X launch,
Mm.
and people mistake that as a UFO, but this one is definitely weird. That's another one. So yeah, I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of sightings lately, but I'm also like hesitant to say if it's UFOs, or I don't know if you've heard of Project Bluebeam or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, is that what's happening? Are they like slow dripping the like, oh, UFOs are here? I mean, they have said that, oh, there is UFOs. The
Mm.
government has. And then maybe this is kind of like, so, oh, here, you guys are seeing it too, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I don't know. I question everything the government does.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to. You can't trust it. You can't trust any of them. Doesn't matter what
No.
government it is, what country it is. You cannot trust any government, in my opinion.
You're so right. You don't even have to be a conspiracy theorist. You just have to look at history to
Exactly.
realize that they're not to be trusted. So yeah.
No, definitely
So
not.
it's interesting nowadays what's going on with the internet, and it's scary too because it's like with AI and stuff. You can't believe you can't believe everything before, but AI,
Yeah,
it's definitely worse because it's getting
definitely.
really good.
Mm. Well, have you heard of the Rendlesham Forest incident?
You know what? Yes, isn't that the
Mm.
military that found the UFO? Am I right?
Yeah. So that gets called our Roswell, basically.
Right. Yeah. So that one is a very interesting story too. What do you
Mm.
think of it? Do you think it's
I think there's definitely something to it.
yeah.
100%, just because I've on YouTube you can listen to what was his name? I want to say Captain Holt. I know his name was Holt. I don't know if he was a captain. I'm thinking Captain Holt because I've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But I know he was definitely, it may have been Captain, Major, Sergeant, I don't know, somewhat. But you can listen to his old recordings, and to me you can hear it in his voice. There's something to it.
Right. Yeah.
And whatever, and
Yeah.
like the scorch marks on the floor and stuff, and how it was a perfect triangle. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah. When you hear the firsthand stories, it's definitely hard to say that they didn't see what they saw. Do you think it's scary though? Are you one of those that are like, oh my gosh, if aliens come, it's going to be like the end of the world kind of thing? Or is it more of like, oh my God, come down, we need help?
Well, I don't know. It depends, doesn't it? It's like on signs. It's like, are they here to just like observe and see how we live, or are they here to take over and harvest us?
Yeah, right. I think if they were taking over, they're
Mm.
going to do it like very subtly. I don't
Mm.
think it's going to be like us,
Yeah.
like bang, bang, shoot them up. I think definitely like, when we talk about abductions and stuff, I could see that playing the long game of hybridizing us eventually. And
Mm.
that's how they take over. I mean, you've seen the woke baby like thing on TikTok where these babies are talking at like 2 months old.
Yeah.
Like, is that a hybrid? I don't know.
It's definitely weird, and it's like you say with governments and stuff. Like over here, I'm pretty sure like over the last. I'll be making up numbers, so I'll just use any. Let's just say like of our last 20 prime ministers, all but 2 of them have all come from like the same school and everything, and I'm just like, I mean, is this some sort of like alien academy sort of thing? So they
Seriously,
run
right?
everything.
Right. Seriously. And I don't want to be controversial or anything like that, but it seems like all of the gods might have been like, you know, Buddha and maybe Jesus. I mean, Jesus was born to basically what sounds like artificial insemination. Just trying to
Mm,
like calm us down maybe and teach the apes how to behave like a
mm,
civilized human beings. I don't know. There's so many like different things that I think about of how an alien takeover would look. But I definitely don't think it's what the movies make it out to be. I mean, they're a civilization that's, so many light years they've, if they are what they are and they've made it to where that they don't even need to communicate via, amount. I think they
yeah.
would be more advanced than to
Mm,
like attack us in that way. You know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
know. Just a theory. I don't think I would be scared though. I don't know.
Well, like I say, again, it all depends on. Well, I mean, like I say, what they're here for. I mean, even to what they look like. I mean,
That's
as
true.
as good as Signs is, Signs is almost the aliens on that are almost very stereotypical, like little green. I mean, I know they're not little; they're fucking huge, but like
Yeah.
green men sort of thing. But then, like, if a friggin' army of xenomorphs turned up, I'd be quite disappointed because they just purely just want to kill shit.
Yeah, I know. True. You're right. Really has to depend on how
Mm.
what their vibe is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny, like when we talk about like scary things, I think I tend to go towards more the paranormal because it almost seems too far for it to actually happen in real life. It's like my way of disassociating is to just
Mm.
get into paranormal stuff. I love to hear stories about it, but I'm also like the biggest chicken shit. Like, I won't watch things at night. I won't read scary things at night. I don't do things at night because past, like, when the sun goes down, I'm not down for it. But what I think is really scary, and I don't know about you, but what's really scary to me are actual human beings that are beyond, I'm not even gonna say beyond normal, but like, let's talk about feral human beings. I think those are
Mm.
scary. One of those scariest things. It's not paranormal, but you hear a lot about it in the Appalachia. There's a story of a guy who witnessed what seemed like a feral human being in the forest. There's a lot of disappearances here at the state parks. So I think that for me is scarier than like aliens or ghosts or feral human beings.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that because I mean, like I said, we know they're real.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think the scariest one I've ever heard was at a podcast called Radio Rental.
I love Radio Rental.
If you heard that story that the guy talks about, he goes hog hunting at night and he's sitting there and he moves. He basically moves to another tree location. He's got, the night vision and everything. And he moves and he's looking at where he was sitting. And right as he's looking at where he's sitting, he sees a person, a dude, like a naked
Mm.
dude, come up to where he was sitting and start sniffing the tree like a dog.
Yeah.
And then he sits down like a dog and he throws his head back like he's going to howl. But it was a little girl's voice that said, "Help me." Like
Oh no,
trying
that's
to,
awful. That's horrible.
I'm like trying to draw him out.
Mm.
And I guess it did it a few times. And he almost questioned his sanity, like, wait, is that a little girl saying help me? But also it's coming out of that dude.
Yeah.
And I guess he tried to leave, right? And that person or whatever it was heard him and started like running full board at him. Now, what I admire about this guy is he had a gun. I would have just, he shot over him purposely to kind of warn him to say like, hey, I have a gun. But man, I don't know. In a panic,
I think I'd have just like laid down on the floor, shut my eyes, and just be like, right, this is where it ends.
I've had a good life. This is what I get for hog hunting and not just going to the supermarket and getting bacon like a regular person.
Exactly.
So I mean, long story short, I'm scared about everything, but also fascinated by it.
Well, again, we can bring it back to the movies here about feral people and fact because feral kids freak me out. Have you seen the film Mama?
I've heard about Mama, but I've never seen it. I'm scared.
It's one of them films. A lot of people hate it. I really fucking liked it.
Now, why do people hate it? What's the word
I
out
don't
on the
know.
street?
I don't know.
Really?
I mean, it could be this. It could be like the CGI and the effects because I mean, they sort of don't look great, but
Oh,
it doesn't look like horrific. It's not like the Scorpion King and the Mummy Returns. It's not that bad.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but I don't know. It just seemed to be one of them films where people either love it or people either hate it.
right. I feel
But
for
I
me,
can say
like,
I really like it.
it looks, yeah, feral kids, that is, I mean,
Mm.
kids in general in horror movies are always terrifying. But feral kids, I have to put that on the list now. I gotta watch it because I've seen like clips of it before I
Mm,
even came up with the YouTube, and it looked terrifying because it looks so unexpected. And again,
mm.
when people are involved, it's just scarier to me. Like, have you seen Midsommar? Oh my God. That is not your traditional horror flick, but
It
holy
all happens during the day as well.
right. And yet I'm absolutely terrified. And that is also burned in my brain. You know what? If you have room, I'm going to leave that in your shed. When the old people jump
Yeah.
and like base jump their face into the freaking rock, like, what? Just, you know, what's funny? We did do a reaction video to that, but, A24 did not like it. They thought that
Fair
I
enough.
guess, you know, the editing, the copyright, it wouldn't let us show
Mm.
it. I'm thinking about doing it again because I don't know, A24 got really picky with my YouTube, which is unfortunate because we had a great time, but also terrifying. I would never forgive that friend that invited me to the to the festival. What the hell?
Yeah, no, fuck that. Couldn't
Yeah,
pay me enough.
right? Cults and shit? No, 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 no.
Mm.
When people start like, you know, hugging you and dressing the same, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. Right, so we've sort of touched on the paranormal and stuff. So I always ask people this question, and it's usually at the start, but I'll ask you now anyway. So where does your interest in it start? Because I always like to ask people this because it's usually very different to mine.
Well, I want to hear yours. My start from the paranormal, what I can really remember early on was I was born in the Philippines, and in the Philippines, especially where my mom lived, it's basically in the jungle. And when it's dark, it's pitch black. And there's all these different stories of things in the jungle, of course. I mean, it just
Mm,
kind of begs for it. But there used to be a story about the white lady,
mm,
and that you would see this person, thing, ghost walking past, and I guess they said that that was bad luck. One time I think somebody in town had a baby and had a really difficult pregnancy, and it was at this time they said that that person, while they were having it was almost like a Grim Reaper story because the
mm,
baby did not survive. And other people have said that when the spirit left the baby, my mom said that the pots and pans like basically flew off of the stove. And these are just stories I heard, but I think I really liked it because it felt like scary, but also like a cool bonding experience with my family to be
yeah.
sharing scary stories. And then, like, you know, my three older brothers, they want nothing to do with their sister. But when we were talking scary stories, we were all equally scared. So I think I liked it because it was comforting, but also scary. And I
Right.
still feel that way. I mean, I get scared about different topics, but also it feels kind of comforting to me. And I think when I peaked with my paranormal stuff is, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if it's a US kind of thing, but Time Life books used to have unsolved mysteries or unknown mysteries. It was almost like a set of encyclopedias,
Mm.
but they would send you one every month. And it would have ghosts, it would have UFOs, and it was every month. I remember asking my dad that for my birthday. Like, I want these Time Life books. I think it was called Unsolved Mysteries or something like that. And that was the zenith. That was like, I love this stuff. So that was
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, that's definitely different to what everyone else normally says.
Oh, what do they say usually?
Just usually the typical thing of obviously it starts when you're a kid, but obviously we are going back to the Philippines and obviously
Yeah.
sharing scary stories and stuff. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And because I mean, the environment definitely made it even worse, right? Because it was just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in the jungle, it was dark, and my mom and my dad were like super like believers in it. So
Mm.
you didn't even have your parents going, "That's not true." I mean, they were believers in it. It was so bad that there's a thing called in the Philippines called aswang. Aswang means monster, and under that monster umbrella, there's different sub monsters.
Why have I heard that before?
Yeah, and sub-monsters, and there's different things, like, there's one that's like a vampire, but it has a snout almost like a mosquito.
Does it does it go after pregnant women?
That's right, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen it. It's on Grim.
yes, yes, that's one of the Aswangs, but another Aswang
Mm.
is this, like he almost looks like a big burly guy that would, like, smoke cigars, and it was like a jungle almost like a jungle I'm gonna say Sasquatch, and my parents used to say I mean, this is typical Gen X parents, or not Gen X parents, but, boomer parents, but Gen X childhood, they said that if I didn't go to bed, that this particular Aswang was in the closet or in the attic, and that if
Mm.
I don't go to bed, he'll eventually come down and invite me up to the attic. I mean, if you said that now, people would freak out. Like, how could you tell your child that? But it was a norm back then, and it didn't put me to sleep, but I definitely didn't get up from bed.
Yeah, well, that's the problem nowadays. There's not enough of stuff like that.
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
Just a little scare. It builds character.
Exactly. I mean, there's no wrong with it. Like a little bit of trauma.
That's right. It's okay. We're fine, right?
Exactly. Well, sort
you
of.
you have a podcast and I have a YouTube. Big deal.
Exactly. But yeah, it's like so. Well, I'll tell you mine then. So because mine started when I was younger and then started again later. So it was weird. So I was always into like scary stuff, like scary films and stuff, obviously. And like, I used to always watch and read Goosebumps and like Are You Afraid of the Dark and all stuff like that when I was a kid. And apparently, when I was really little, when I was like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 year old, apparently, according to my mum and dad, I used to sit in my bedroom and talk to people that weren't there, which is always weird anyway. And then as I got older, I sort of stopped believing in stuff. It didn't really interest me anymore.
Right.
And then me and my old co-host Billy, we used to do a football podcast originally. And then one day after we were doing that, we had an argument for like an hour on if we believed in ghosts or not. And we were like, well, that was better than any of this football stuff we've been doing. Let's just do that instead. So that was how this all started.
Oh, how funny. And
Mm.
so what was the argument about?
Well, just if we believed in ghosts or not, because I was very skeptical to start with. Like,
I see. And
this
so
is just
he
this.
believed
So like just in
I
the
see.
last like year and a half doing this, well, nearly 2 years now of doing
Yeah.
this, my opinion on a lot of things have changed.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm like you where it's like I mean, I don't know everything. We don't know everything.
Mm.
We don't see everything and the whole light spectrum stuff. And when you talk about frequencies and stuff like that, I mean, the possibilities are endless. So I can't
Yeah.
say that ghosts aren't real, but I definitely love to hear stories of it. And like the more you hear stories of it, the more it feels like, it could be. And maybe not
Yeah.
in the traditional sense that it's a spirit that can't rest. I think I buy more into the theory of it's like a weird frequency or parallel universe that we sometimes can get peeks into,
Yeah.
kind of like The Others. You remember that movie?
Yeah. That was too long.
But I
One of
like the
them.
concept of
Yeah,
like them being,
good idea, but it was slow.
it was slow,
I
right?
thought it was anyway.
There's no jump scares in that, aside
No.
from the girl that was pulling the seance. But I like the concept of that, of
Mm.
like, what if the
Them haunting
ghosts,
themselves.
right? And that they were the ghosts and they were
Mm.
dead. They just didn't know it. And they were just seeing a peak at a different kind of like frequency. And I feel like that explains, missing time. That might explain deja vu. I don't know.
Mm.
So, yeah. But I just love exploring that possibility. It's very interesting
Yeah.
to me.
You love one of my stories, and I'll tell you when we're finished because I think I've
Yeah.
told it on the last 10 episodes I've done, and people will be getting sick of hearing it. But if this is someone's first one they're listening to, then it gives them an excuse to go back and listen to others. So it's good thinking
There
from
you
me.
go.
That.
That's good marketing, Liam.
Exactly. But yes, well, to go back to stuff like that, so I've coined my own little catchphrase now. So I say that I believe in things, but I don't know what I believe in.
Oh, I like that. That's a really good catchphrase. I believe in things, but I too are not concrete in my
Mm.
beliefs. I can be swayed with,
Yeah.
different stories and different experiences, but when I hear firsthand experiences, I think that's what sways me for real. That's why I think that Andreasen affair is really powerful to me because what she remembers and what her daughter remembers, and the fact that they were working with a team of doctors actively trying to debunk them and couldn't, that to me, that's why it's so fascinating to me. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, I don't know whether this will make much sense, but what I say now is through all the people I've spoke to who've told me their experiences, the fact that there's so many things that are so different and then so many things that are so similar, that
Hmm.
almost kind of makes me believe more
Yeah.
just because of the similarities in there and the fact that obviously not everybody's story is exactly the same. Because if everybody's story was exactly the same, then I would just be like, well, everyone's just telling the same story, so it's bullshit.
Right. Right. Because, like, I've never seen an apparition, but I think
Mm,
the closest, like, paranormal experience I've ever had was based on smell. So
right.
when my dad passed away, he was in the
Mm,
Philippines, I was here. My dad passed away suddenly. It was kind of a sudden thing. And the next day, I got up, I went out to take the dog out, and I had a fenced in yard, meaning nobody could get in, nobody can get out. And as I walked out in the yard, the entire yard smelled like his aftershave. And
mm.
I'm not saying an aftershave you could even buy today. It is an aftershave from the 70s called Skin Bracer. And
That sounds horrific. That sounds like a horror film.
I'm like, oh my God, this is my dad's. And you know too what happened with that. I had a significant like experience with this aftershave. That's why
Mm,
I just felt like that was my dad, because I remembered when I was a little girl, I was seeing my dad shave. And so I went up there and I put the little thing there, and I pretended to shave with a comb. And then I opened the skin bracer. Well, skin bracer doesn't have like you don't have to do that. You just pours out like
yeah.
alcohol. And I didn't know that. And I poured the entire thing on myself. And I didn't want anybody to know. And I smelled like Skin Bracer for like the rest of the day. And that is what I smelled
Mm.
outside of my house. And I felt like it was kind of my dad being a little bit jokey, like, I'm coming by, I'm saying hello and goodbye. And I don't know, I liked it, but I even got the girls out because I'm like, is that just me? Like, I smell his. And I got the girls out and my daughters, and I said, "Do you smell that?" They're like, "Yeah, what is that? That is weird." I'm like, "That's
Mm.
aftershave." And they had never smelled that before, obviously. And I'm like, "That's my dad's aftershave." And it lingered around for like a good 20 minutes. And then it was gone and I never smelled it again. So,
That is definitely weird, and it's more weird the fact that your daughters could smell it as well. That's bizarre.
yeah. Yeah, because
Mm,
I thought it was just me. I'm like, is that just
yeah.
me? And I'm like, smelling my clothes. Did I use a different detergent? So I got them out there and they smelled the same thing. Then later, obviously it didn't come up again. No, but there's no way it could have been somebody walking by.
Yeah.
Because we were too far from the sidewalk. None of the flowers smell like Skin
Mm.
Bracer. Oh, that I think is probably the most convincing to me that something happened there, but never seen an apparition. But for me, it was the smell.
Yeah, I've spoke to a few people and I've heard and I've read other people's accounts on stuff with
Yeah.
smells, and that does fascinate me because it's something I've not experienced.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because of my, I'll say, scientific skeptical half of me,
Yeah.
I'm like, could that maybe be something in your brain, making you smell that? But then, like you
Right.
say, the fact that your daughters can smell it as well,
Right.
that's what,
So
yeah, it's like their brain isn't going to think that. Like I say, if they've never even smelt it before, so it's like it's impossible.
right. Right.
Yeah.
And if you go by the whole like ghosts appear, or the smart, I guess, the conscious ghosts appear, basically like harnessing energy from
Mm,
whatever. I mean, how do we know that it can't harness energy and produce a smell? I don't know. Or maybe do something to the brain where, like, okay, we're going to pick something that she remembers. And then maybe that, I don't know, but my daughter smelled it. So yeah, you're right. I don't know
mm,
what that was about, honestly. So it was interesting. It was it felt like my dad. That's something my dad would do to kind of bring
yeah.
up a funny memory of me fucking up. And so, yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about like the whole spirit, and where does it go when the physical body dies?
I'm going to give you a very boring answer. I don't know. I don't because I don't think anybody can say really because obviously
Yeah.
there's only one way to find out.
Right. And
And
then we
we
can't
will
go
all
back
find out one day.
and we can't report our findings afterwards.
Exactly. So,
So we'll
but
just
I
leave it
don't
at
know.
that.
It's yeah, exactly. I'm not religious or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
don't
either.
believe in any sort of, I don't believe in any sort of like heaven or God or anything like that. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
but but it's also a case of like how, energy can't be destroyed. They are energies. Something must happen. That sort of thing again, which again you can look at that from like a spiritual side and a scientific side because,
Yeah.
well, it is. It's a bit of
Because it
both. So
is.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a strange
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So I think that, like, I think I kind of lean towards that too, because I'm not religious either. But,
Mm,
when you think about energy can't be created, can't be destroyed, I put it as an example of, like, if a lamp gets destroyed,
mm.
that doesn't mean the light does no longer exist. It just is somewhere else. Right.
But because say that energy can't be created,
Mm.
but it can.
It can what?
Energy can be created
Right. But also,
because, yeah, well, I mean, this is me being a bit of a twat
no,
because
I like that though.
when we have kids, you create them. Is that not creating energy?
Is it though? Or are you just creating the physical thing for the energy to inhabit?
Fair point. Yeah.
So who
Well, yeah. Well, then
knows, right?
yeah, true. Because I mean, like, are our bodies just vessels, isn't it? It's that
That's right.
conversation, and isn't it? Yeah.
Right. Like
So.
you're the broken lamp, but
Mm,
if you plug in another lamp, it'll light up. The energy went right back to, yeah, anyways.
yeah.
Who knows? We
Interesting.
we
Yeah. Like I
believe
said,
all we don't know what we believe.
yeah, exactly. It is just really annoying, but to, that obviously we can't find out for definite. But I also have the opinion that if we could find out 100%, I don't think it would be as interesting.
You're right.
Mm,
You're right. I think what human beings and how we grow and how we evolve is curiosity. And I
mm,
think, if we figured it all out, it'd be like, oh shit. Now what do we talk about? I
yeah,
think it would also upend
exactly.
religion personally. And I think, even if we did find out, that
I
would
don't know.
throw some people right off their rails.
Yeah,
So,
I suppose it depends on the religion and how much people believe in. Because I mean, I know people who are religious who don't believe in certain aspects of it and stuff like that. So it's a strange one because
true. True.
I never grew up religious or anything like that. Like I don't have much knowledge on it. Like to me, it's very much like Jesus, God, heaven, hell, devil. That's basically like my
Hmm.
knowledge of it. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I know every religion is different. I'm just thinking Christianity because that's like the main one here.
Right, right. That's the
Yeah.
most popular one, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like the bare bones of religion, of, like, treating each
Mm,
other respectfully and being kind and compassionate. It's when people get into it and start adding like technicalities. That's when it
yeah.
gets really, And you're right. Like, I feel like if it could go either way, if we find
Mm,
out exactly like what happens to us in the afterlife and why we're all here, would it unify us? Or, you
mm,
know what I mean? Like, I think then, I don't know. Again, though, it wouldn't be as interesting. We wouldn't be curious about anything. Well, there'd be
yeah.
something, I guess, we would find.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I mean, again, it's like the heaven and hell thing because I've always said if that was a real thing, 99.9% of people are going to hell anyway. If we're strictly following the rules, then every
Right.
person will be in hell technically. But
Yeah.
I like to, I mean, a little nice, I'm not going to say a belief, but an idea for me would be that everybody goes to their own place. They've got the people they want there.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody's would be different. So like me and you could be in each other's, but like different things would be happening for
Right,
what we
right.
want. If does that make any sort of sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's almost like, your own personal either
Parrot.
paradise. Right. Your own personal paradise. I
Mm,
totally like that concept and I like that
mm,
thought. I'm kind of more on the Buddhism reincarnation situation about like how
mm,
you reincarnate until you learn your lesson and then you ascend to like you level up as a person. It's like life is a video game and every
mm.
time you have to relearn the lesson to like level up. I
Yeah.
like the reincarnation aspect of it, but I have a weird feeling that we're all talking about the same thing. We just don't know the technicalities of it. Like I feel like,
Yeah.
what Christianity has spoken about like, life and death and whatever, might be just a different interpretation than like, say, Buddhism. Or I feel like we're all talking about the same thing sometimes, just a different
Yeah,
interpretation.
definitely. Yeah. And I think one of the things that always put me off with religion, and it was because, well, for a start, there's more than one, which to me makes no sense then in the first place.
Right.
Well, I suppose you'll have heard of Ricky Gervais, won't you, comedian?
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, he said some things that have annoyed a lot of people. So hopefully this won't. But something he said before with religion, which to me is one of the reasons why I'm not, is because, like he says, there's however many gods, and then whatever religion you are born into is the right one.
Right. Like,
You're
how
all
do
right.
you...
Everybody else is screwed, but you're fine.
Exactly. I mean, I totally, absolutely agree with that. And it's just
Mm,
like when we talk about the government. I mean, back in the day, religion was used as a power play. If you had the
yeah.
most people in your religion, you had the most power. So,
Mm,
of course, all of these different religions are going to try to make their religion and tweak the words and tweak the Bible so that they would get the most followers. And what better way to get the most followers than to make your God the Son of God? Who can beat
mm,
that?
mm,
So I don't trust man-made religion as much as I don't trust the government, because I always feel
mm,
like it's a way to control people. It's a way to get control, and it's not really what that religion is about. And I'm not trying to offend anybody who is Christian, who is, any religion. I think, like I said, the bare bones of religion, if it makes you a good person, if it makes you a good person in society, I'm all for it. Like, be religious, go to church if that makes you feel good and it makes you be a contributing, kind person. But if it gets to the point where you're judging people and you're, telling people
mm.
what to do and you're saying they're wrong in their beliefs, that's when
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, okay, maybe
Mm,
step back a little bit. How did we get into
yeah.
religion, Liam?
No idea. No idea.
This is why I like ghosts.
Exactly. Let's bring it back to the ghosts and all the good weird stuff. And so, apart from obviously with the smell and the aftershave, have you had any other experiences?
I have not had any experiences. As scared as I am, I've never felt anything evil or oppressive or anything like that. Like I said, the only experience I've ever had was positive. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if I would call this an experience. And I don't know if this is paranormal. I mean, you be the judge of this. But when my dog died, um, I woke up and my dog was in the bathroom when I went to the bathroom. And I was
Mm,
like absolutely like dumbfounded. We had just put him to sleep. I'm like, what are you doing here? To the point where I'm feeling him. Like, he is here. This is him. And I'm like, oh my God. And I go back to bed. He follows me to bed and I'm hugging him like, I can't believe you're back. And I'm smelling his face. I used to love to sniff his face. And when after, like, immediately I went, this is a dream. And it
mm,
felt so real though. And I remember I haven't had a really hard time going to bed after we put him to sleep because I was unable to go. And the
yeah.
entire time I was like, shit, he was probably wondering where I was. I mean, my husband was with him, but the entire time I'm just beating myself up. Like, he was probably wondering where I was. I should have went with him. Oh my God. And it just made my grief so much worse. And I felt like, and maybe it could just be me conjuring this dream up, but it was so real. Like, smell, touch, everything. I felt like that was him going, I'm good. Like, you don't have to beat yourself up.
Yeah.
I hope it
Yeah.
was. But that's the only other really one that I'm questioning if it was a dream or not, because it was so real.
See, to me, that sounds like a lucid dream,
Yeah,
which I wish
right?
I could do.
I don't know. After I seen Insidious, though. Have you seen Insidious?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not lucid dreaming then, because in lucid dreaming you control it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He was
Mm,
walking into like different dimensions. Oh, right.
yeah.
Lucid dream, you can control it. I don't know. I don't know if that, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm always like, what if you can't come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound like a lucid dream, but like maybe it was just my way of comforting myself.
Yeah, but I mean, I've heard a lot of stories though, like regarding dreams and stuff. Though I mean, my partner, she told me one about her brother and stuff, and like me and her had very, very similar dreams. Obviously about different people. But
Mm-hmm.
I always remember it wasn't long after my granddad died, and I obviously we're all devastated when he did, and like my sister was especially because my granddad used to always say to her that she wouldn't be a woman until she was 18, and she was
Mm,
17 when he died. So she was obviously gutted about that.
right.
And the dream I had was at her 18th birthday party, and he was there, but only I could see him. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. But it's weird because it was almost nice because I woke up and I felt like I'd seen him again.
Yeah.
But in the
Yeah.
dream, I was literally like shouting at people, screaming at people, saying like he stood there.
He's right there.
Yeah, but
That's a
nobody else could see
trip.
him. It was
So
horrible.
that that gets me in another discussion of what dreams are
Yeah,
sometimes,
exactly.
you know? Yeah. That's a whole other show.
Yeah, but again, though, is that like some form of energy getting into our consciousness?
Right. Like
Yeah,
where do we go when we dream? Does
exactly.
our consciousness go somewhere else? Is it
Mm.
just conjuring up old like memories and stuff that is it our brain entertaining itself while we're asleep? Who knows? But like I always think that who knows? Maybe.
I'll say fact because, like I say, when it comes to dreams, is another one. Like it's like the paranormal. Can you really say what's fact and what's not?
Yeah.
But apparently, I'll say in dreams, your brain can't come up with faces. You can't make up faces. So if you
Right.
see somebody in your dream that you don't recognize, it could be literally someone that you've walked past in the street,
I
which I
heard
think is
this.
mental. Yeah, I think
That
that's weird.
is like why are we bringing this guy from,
Mm,
the grocery store up?
yeah, exactly.
I
It's
sometimes
weird.
right? I think our brain is just bored.
Mm, yeah. It's like sleep paralysis.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
heard of the Hat Man, right? The whole Hat Man theory of people from all over the world seeing a guy in a
Yeah.
hat?
Well, like I said, I think the typical ones are that, or like a little hag that's like sat on your chest, sort of thing. But I've had it
Right.
before. I've had it a few times.
Really?
Mm.
And what happens to the whole like you can't breathe, can't move?
No, so I mean, well, I'll tell you this now because I've not told this one for a while. So
Okay.
the people won't be bored of this one yet, hopefully. So the first time it happened for me, I think I must have been about 10 or 11 years old. I think I must have been, yeah, because it was when me and my brother first got our own bedrooms because we used to share a bedroom, and then when he got to a certain age, you needed time alone, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm,
uh,
right.
like, and me being, like I say, I was about 10, 11 years old. I did first time being in a room on my own. It was weird, so I used to sleep with the door open. And then I remember
Right.
one night I woke up, and it was, I think it's still to this day, I think it's the only time I've ever like woke up on my back with my head on the pillow. Like normally I wake up halfway down the bed and feet hanging out, face
Right.
face down. And this is the only time I can remember like waking up, just laid
Yeah.
flat in bed, head on my pillow. And then my bedroom door was at the end of the bed. So I'm just looking, and door was open. We used to always have the light on outside the room, and there was just like a black figure stood in the doorway. I always say it was like a Grim Reaper type shape because it was just like a black hooded figure.
No.
Yeah.
And could you move or
No, nope.
that is terrifying. Ugh. And
It
how
was.
long
It
did it
was.
last, do you think?
Felt longer than it probably was. It was probably
Yeah.
literally about 5 seconds, but it felt like I don't know, a minute maybe.
Yeah. Especially if you can't move. I'd go into panic mode.
But to me, the weirdest thing was, and I don't know if this is a thing, so I don't know whether it was just a dream, but I don't think it was because, like I say, it's happened again, but differently.
Mm-hmm.
So my eyes were open, but like when it passed, I felt like I'd opened my eyes again,
Oh.
which is this thing.
Well, that is, right?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
did you go to sleep
it
again?
wasn't just like it disappeared. It was like
You opened
I
your
was
eyes
looking
and it
at
was
it, and then all of a sudden I opened my eyes again. It was bizarre.
that is a trip. I wonder if you like weirdly went to sleep and then opened your eyes and just didn't remember. That is
Well,
bizarre.
I think that must be what it is. It's sort of like because it's your brain wakes up, but your body doesn't wake up. That sort of thing, isn't it? So I don't know. Maybe it's just you like fall back out of it and then wake yourself back up. Because it's like, have you ever had that feeling when you wake up and you feel like you're falling and you just like fell onto your
Right.
bed?
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
why that happens?
Why does that happen?
It's quite scary, really. So that is you basically going into that much of a deep sleep. Your heart rate gets so low, your brain thinks you're going to die, so it shocks you awake.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, thank you for my body going into autopilot, but holy shit, I don't ever want to sleep that deep. It's like you have to have emergency wake up from your body. That's
Exactly.
crazy.
Yeah.
Not
It's a
so fun
horrible
fact.
feeling, though.
I know. Learn something new every day.
But then, so every other time that it's happened, it's been very different. So like because ever since then, I never sleep with the door open now. Even now, I don't like sleeping with the bedroom door open. It has to be closed.
Yeah. Oh God, I wouldn't.
But now, whenever it's happened now, I wake up and sometimes again I've not been I've contradicted myself now. Sometimes I have been face down and I've been like head down and like something's been there. And then other times I've sort of been like laid either on my side and stuff, but never like fully flat down like I said earlier. Now it's just whenever it happens now, it's almost there's no real shape to it, but there's just something like obviously I'm in a dark room, but like darker than the dark, if you know what I mean. Like I can feel that something's there. But the weird thing is now though, like it doesn't ever feel like scary or threatening or anything.
You just got used. You got desensitized to it.
Well, it's like possibly, but I like to be. I don't know. I don't even know what word I'm trying to say, but I like to just tell myself that it's me granddad.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, I don't know why he's showing up as like some sort of black mass. Like he could be a bit less weird about it, but I mean. It's the kind of thing I'd do, so it makes sense.
Oh my gosh. See, you got to get better with your sleep, Liam. That might be the, sleep paralysis.
Probably. That probably won't help my sleep pattern, like, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never choose to have it, but like I say, when it happens now, it's not as freaky.
Yeah, it's not as, right. It's not as traumatizing because you've kind of figured out a way to make it better for yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, right then, Elaine. Well, I've really enjoyed this.
Yes, this was so much fun. Thank you for having me today, Liam.
No problem. Do you want to let our listeners know where they can find you? And I mean, I don't know if you want to give a reveal of what film you're watching next.
Oh, of course. Yeah. So on my YouTube, it's just youtube.com/@Whaaat with 3 A's. I am literally 440 hours away from being monetized. So if you guys can binge watch, that would be great.
Nice.
The latest film we watched, I got a pre-screening of a movie called Bambi the Reckoning. It was as fun and weird as it sounds. And I enjoy movies who are self-aware, and this movie delivered. So you should watch it first. I think it's out in the UK August 25th. And then watch that first and then watch our reaction. And then you can find me on TikTok at Whaaat with 3 A's. Are you watching? TikTok, I'm there. I post almost every day. Scary stories, ghost photos I find, conspiracy theories, basically everything we talked about, Liam. And yeah, so that's where I am, and that's where you'll find me. Liam, I'll have to reach out to you. We'll have to do a reaction video together.
Definitely. But we're not watching that Pendle Hill film.
No, you probably don't want to watch Men. So, well, you might want to a little bit. See what I left in your shed, because it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, God. Right, well, thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. I really enjoyed it, like I say. Yeah, right then, guys. So that is it for today. So, as always, go and follow our Instagram page at the Spooky Shed Podcast. There's a link in the bio there for all the other socials that we don't use still. But the YouTube channel's there, merch store, Patreon page, and all that stuff. So, thank you for listening. We shall speak to you next time.